Hi everyone, Daljeet Peterson here from astrolab21.com. Just wanted to jump on and do a quick video in response to something that's happening in the news today, and which relates to a video I did earlier in the week about Uranus and Taurus, where I was talking about some disruptions that we can expect in the financial markets based on the ongoing square over the course of the year between Uranus and Taurus and Saturn as well as Jupiter in Aquarius. And this blip on the news sort of caught my attention. Someone actually made a comment about it in that video, this phenomenon with the stock of GameStop, right? So GameStop is this, you may be familiar with it, it's like a brick and mortar store that you could buy and sell and trade, video games. And it's come under hard times in recent years, certainly in the last year under the coronavirus stress. And apparently a big hedge fund guy came out and said, that he was taking a short position on GameStop, which means in financial parlance, it means I'm betting on this stock to fail. And, it's sort of marginally ethical to make money betting on someone else to fail. That seems like it's just a slimy way to make a living. But it's a financial instrument. It's the way that Wall Street works, and it's something you can do. You can bet on stocks to fail. Well, apparently there was this leader on a Reddit group focused on the stock market that sort of rallied people to go and buy shares of GameStop to counter this short position of these hedge fund guys. So essentially, tons of people, ordinary everyday people, using things like Robinhood, this new app everyone's using to invest and buy and trade in stocks. And they're essentially boosting the stock price to an unprecedented level. I'm looking at it right now, and it closed at $347 today. I think it went up to $380 a share. A week ago, it was trading under $20. And so this phenomenon just took off like out of nowhere, right? And it's just everyone is buying in and feeding into this frenzy. Well, what's going on here in terms of, if we take a look at the chart and what I think this phenomenon is playing out brilliantly through the astrology, is we've got now the sun joining both Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius in square to Uranus and Mars in a sign of Taurus, money, finances, right? With Aquarius being about revolution, about people power, about networked, peer-to-peer, grassroots type of efforts. Well, it's interesting, on the day that the sun is almost about to go exact with Jupiter, the sun shining its light on the Jupiter aspect of this conjunction, right? What is Jupiter? It's big, it's expansion, right? This is this growing number of people, right? Numbers, that thousands of people investing in this stock, rallying to beat the old school money, right? Taurus, Mars, like literally the wolves of Wall Street, are now getting beat at their own game by this revolution, Aquarius, and disruption, Uranus, right? Uranus in the sign of finance, but it rules Aquarius. So it's sort of lending it's like a wink and a nod to what's going on up here in this part of the square, that this revolutionary, sudden burst of energy from a collective point of view is taking on the establishment, the old world, the fixed bulls of Wall Street, and winning and beating them at their own game. So much so that you're seeing, I believe that Discord stepped in and pulled the plug on the Reddit server that was running this subreddit that was fueling this stock investment. TD Ameritrade stopped trading of the stock temporarily. They called for the SEC to jump in, the Securities and Exchange Commission. But essentially what you're getting here is these Wall Street guys are throwing a tantrum because they're getting beat at their own game. They want to change the rules, right? Saturn, the rules in Aquarius are coming under revolutionary, sudden, disruptive change. And they're not happy about it, right? And it's so funny. I did a slide on that video I was talking about, where I talked about Uranus and Taurus. I talked about, not only this notion of crypto versus Wall Street, and I think what you're seeing here with this Reddit, this subreddit, is playing the role of crypto, playing the role of like the blockchain side of the equation, right? This is the David versus Goliath, right? David is crypto and the people, Goliath, Wall Street, the big head honchos. But it's, not only that, I talked about, the Great Reset versus the Green New Deal, and people like AOC, who are the voice of the people and trying to do something that's much more grassroots and a true democratic revolutionary effort. Well, it's interesting if you look at some of the news today. Elizabeth Warren and AOC came out and made statements sort of criticizing Wall Street about trying to block this rally, like that they're shifting the goalposts, they're changing the rules to favor them when they don't like the way the game is being played, that they've sort of rigged. This is saying they treat the stock market like a casino, right? And it's just so interesting to see this play out. It's going to be fascinating to watch. I'll be watching it closely. I just thought I'd put it on your radar just because it dovetailed so nicely with what I recently talked about. And I'm going to be doing a lot more on this topic in the video I'm working on currently about this Uranus-Saturn cycle, making some predictions about what's going to come this year and getting a bigger perspective really on this entire cycle that we're in the midst of. This current cycle that began back in 1988 and will last through 2032, but we're in a critical phase of this stage. Each critical juncture of this cycle has coincided with major shifts in the stock market. The last square was the bubble, the tech bubble in 99, 2000. The opposition took place during the big crash in 2008. Now we're in another square. You're going to see another major shift in the financial markets. This is just, I think, some of the early tremors of what we can expect this year to be. David versus Goliath, people power versus institutional old structures, the old versus the new, Capricorn versus Aquarius, all these themes that we've been ruminating on all year and into this new year. This is what we can expect. This is what's going on. And it's just so interesting and so fun to use the charts, to use astrology to sort of gauge where this is going. Tomorrow should be an interesting day with the sun coming in exact conjunction with Jupiter, right? This should give the people side of the equation power, and they're going to get a big light is going to be shown on this. You're going to see a ton of reports on it in the media, right? A spotlight on, well, what does this mean? How is this disrupting the old ways of doing business? We're going to get a ton of disruptions this year. And the old system is showing its age and its wear, and that it's just not built for the 21st century. It's not built for the new era that we're entering in. It's going to become under revolutionary forces to Capricorn, as Pluto in Capricorn, to transform the systemic structure. Interesting that Venus came into almost exact conjunction with it too. It's like there's some easing of the old structure it's almost playfully being taken down. And there's this playful nature to Jupiter, right? There's almost this wink and a nod. There's this the fact that the app is called Robin Hood, even though I think there's some real shenanigans going on with the people who make that app, who are taking advantage of these retail investors and probably hedging against them. Anyway, let's stay tuned. Let's keep an eye on this. Let's see where it goes, and let's keep our focus, keep our eyes on the prize, if you will. All right, till next time. Thanks for watching. Sadnam, everyone.